proceed now, clerks.
Good morning. My name is George Otino, Committee Clerk. Chair, the permission, I request that the members of the team to go on record.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Chris Pastima, Committee Clerk.
Through the Chair, my name is Faith Charuto, Legal Counsel to the Committee.
Morning, Chair and members. William Zento with the answer.
John Perez, Sergeant at Arms.
Lydia Kagumba, Protocol.
Chair, that's all from us.
You're welcome, clerks. We go to the OAG, the Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Patrick Muriuki. I'm the liaison officer attached to this committee from the Office of the Auditor General. Chair, we have a team from Homa Bay. With your permission, I want to request them to come on record.
Yeah, thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is Simon Abosu from the Office of Auditor General, Director of Audit.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is Anthony Muriuki, Deputy Director, Homa Bay Regional Office.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, I'm happy that Kisi is being run from Homa Bay. That tells you something. Members of the yes, National Treasury.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Senators, and Your Excellency, the Governor of Kisii County. My name is Reverend CPA Kimathi Kwiriga from the National Treasury Liaison Office. Thank you.
Karibu, Control of Budget.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is CPA Nancy Kendi, a liaison officer attached to this committee from the Office of the Controller of Budget.
Karibu, we expect the ESCC to be joining us in due course. We welcome the members of the Fourth Estate. Did we invite the County Assembly of Kisii?
Yes, Chair, we did. The clerk told me this morning that he's not able to send the committee.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Let's allow the Governor to go on record.
Thank you, Chairman. I have a big team with myself here. I would want them to introduce themselves.
You could start with yourself. Go on record.
My name is Simba Arati, Governor Kisii.
Okay. The rest, your name and what you do in the county.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you, Chair. My name is Kennedy Abinch. I'm CC Finance, Kisii County.
Alfred Nyandieka, County Attorney.
Morning, Chair. John S. Chacha, Finance Officer.
Chair, I'm Dr. Tucho, Chief of Staff.
Morning, Chair. John Yandanyi, Head of Accounts.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Conrad Owino, Chief Officer Revenue Management.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Dr. John Kennedy Omanga, the Legal Advisor to the Governor.
Elizabeth Nyamokami, Accountant. Lydia Moendi, Revenue Accountant.
CPA Sheila Mora, Accountant.
CPA Ivan Skiage from Reporting Unit.
CPA Violet Ombasa, Accountant.
Thank you, Chair. CPA Chibeka Leonard, Accountant.
Cyrus Momani, Finance Officer.
Is that it for the Ghana's delegation? Fine, honorable members, we come back to the agenda, and again, we ought to have adopted the agenda. Could I request?
Maybe, Chair, before we go to agenda, we had dispensed of the matter of West Pokot, and on behalf of the committee, we have directed that they appear via summonses on when we resume our sittings in January next year.
That is appropriate. Yes. That's noted and put on record that West Pokot will be compelled to appear before this committee due to they failed to honor our invitation to appear before the Senate today. Okay, our agenda was to consider the Auditor General's report on Kisii County Executive for various financial years as per the agenda before us. Could I get a proposer and a seconder from the members?
Chair, I propose.
Thank you, Senator Mariam.
Chair, I second.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. We can now move to the next order, which is administration of oath. Administration of oath, the clerk of the Senate will guide the Governor in that.
I, Paul Simba, Arati, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Okay, next will be your citation and submission of your written responses.
Mr. Chairman, I hereby table the following document before the committee. Management response and the accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement for the financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023 for the County Executive of Kisii. The report of the Auditor General on the receiver on the revenue for financial years 2021, 2022 and 2022-2023, and the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the county revenue and fund for financial year 2021, 2022 and 2022-2023.
Okay, Auditor General, could you confirm whether you've been able to go through those responses and whether you're in a position to guide us?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We are in a position to receive the responses and supporting annexures, and we are ready to execute the reports.
The Clerk of the Senate, may you confirm?
Yes, Chair, I do confirm that we received the responses within the timelines that we had set.
Okay. So is there any reason that would stop us from proceeding, OIG?
No, Chair, there is no reason that can stop us not to proceed. There is no reason.
Okay, so before we proceed to the substantive agenda, I think we must dispense with the issue of summons. Governor Simba Arati, you are appearing before the Senate. You have been compelled to appear before the Senate via summons that were served upon you. You are supposed to have appeared earlier in the week. I think that should have been on Monday. But this committee varied the date to allow you time to put together your documentation and to interact with the Office of the Auditor General. It's good that you're here, but parliamentary summons are never issued in vain. It would be important, first of all, to go on record to find out why you did not honor the invitation of the Senate to appear at the past invitation. Governor?
Chairman, thank you. From the onset, I just want to indicate that I have a bad flu, therefore you'll bear with me as I'm going home with the discussions of the day.
Are you in the right health condition to proceed with this meeting? Because
Chair,
you know how infectious flus can be.
I am, but you'll bear with me because I'm ready to proceed with the meeting as it was scheduled.
Yeah, I think someone should get the governor a mask because we also do not want to spend our Christmas in hospital on account of infections from Kisii.
Though it may not pass through the mic, it's only that if...
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Chair, first and foremost, I want to thank you for allowing me, or the committee to allow me to sit today. First, to check on a few issues, the summons that you're talking about. Yes, I know there are summons, and these summons, from the onset, I want just to point out, Chair, that I received the first invite, which I did apply, and I spoke to the chairman, yourself, that I was out of the country at that moment. I would have not met it. Therefore, I was allowed. Chair, again, the second invite, I think I wasn't responsible, therefore I could not make it to the Senate.
Sorry, what did you say about the second invite? Because I think the first invite you indicated you were in China.
Yes.
With the presidential delegation.
Yes, Chairman.
Yeah, the second one?
The second one, Chairman, I think by the time when I arrived, my team had not pulled all the paperwork together. Therefore, I was again engaged in. Chair, I want to report to you that I'm a deputy party leader of my party, the largest party again in this country and the Eastern Central Africa. We had a function, which again I sought for permission, which I was granted from your desk. I could not make it. Therefore, subsequently, I was looking forward to appear before the committee, which I'm happy that today I'm here, despite the fact that there were summons which were issued later on.
Meeting, because
Chair,
you know how infectious flus can be.
I am, but you'll bear with me because I'm ready to proceed with the meeting as it was scheduled.
Yeah, I think someone should get the governor a mask because we also do not want to spend our Christmas in hospital on account of infections from kissing.
Though it may not pass through the mic, it's only that you've...
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Chair, first and foremost, I want to thank you for allowing me, or the committee to allow me to sit today. First, to check on a few issues, the summons that you're talking about. Yes, I know there are summons, and these summons, from the onset, I want just to point out, Chair, that I received the first invite, which I did apply, and I spoke to the chairman yourself that I was out of the country at that moment. I would have not met it. Therefore, I was allowed. Chair, again, the second invite, I think I wasn't responsible, therefore I could not make it to the Senate.
Sorry, what did you say about the second invite? Because I think the first invite you indicated you were in China.
Yes.
With the presidential delegation.
Yes, Chairman.
Yeah, the second one?
The second one, Chairman, I think by the time when I arrived, my team had not pulled all the paperwork together. Therefore, I was again engaged in. Chair, I want to report to you that I'm a deputy party leader of my party, the largest party again in this country and the Eastern Central Africa. We had a function, which again I sought for permission, which I was granted from your desk. I could not make it. Therefore, subsequently, I was looking forward to appear before the committee, which I'm happy that today I'm here, despite the fact that there were summons which were issued later on.
You see nothing wrong with non-appearance twice?
Perhaps, Chair, I need the clarification from the governor, because I also happen to be an SG of the largest party in East Africa. Could you confirm what that function was, Governor?
A point of relevance, point of order.
Vice Chair?
Chair, is it in order for us on point of relevance standing orders to discuss about political parties?
Oh, no.
I don't think it is relevant.
Chair, there's a reason I'm asking.
That the ODM party deputy party leader and SG can discuss in central committee meeting.
Chair, with great respect to my colleagues, there's a reason I'm asking that question.
Because the custodian of the calendar.
Yes, and if personally I was...
Chair, are we transforming this committee into ODM meeting?
Chair, can you allow me to just make my point?
Okay. Chair, can the governor be guided to only give us the official and recognized excuse why he's not here? I think the issue of parties should not be an issue.
Honorable,
okay, Vice Chair, and
we are saying the same thing.
I agree with you.
Okay.
We are saying the same thing. Let him confirm what the function was.
Okay.
Just order, Senator Dula? Or you want to?
No, I'm on the same point, but I want to say here that matters of political parties should not be actually brought on the floor of the House or the committee.
Correct.
That is outside the purview of the Senate. Thank you.
Because when we disburse funds to Kisi,
yes,
we are not dispersing it to the deputy party leader. We are disbursing funds to the people of Kisii to be administered by the governor, who is a governor running a devolved government in the Republic of Kenya. There is never any political party consideration. And I think, Governor, if you are using that as a reason why you didn't come last time, then it's completely out of order, unless there's a better reason. Because for the first reason, I think it was in the public domain that you were in China. And that was clear. It was not a political party thing, it was a national delegation. The last meeting is a meeting that triggered the summons, because from the first meeting, we re-invited you, we did not summon you. And it is failure to appear at the second meeting that then triggered the issuance of summons. And I said, Parliament does not issue summons in vain. Governor?
Chair, I've just corrected that, yes, this was, again, despite the fact that, yes, we are talking about we cannot discuss issues of the parties here. My party, for sure, the president had a function in Western where I joined him and I was required to be there for purpose of, again, stabilizing the country, as it were. Chair, I want to point out that...
Governor Arati, what specific functional responsibility do you have in stabilization of the country beyond stabilization of Kisii County?
And Chair, is the country unstable? I'm not aware. Is the country at war?
Chair, at a certain time, the country was going in the wrong direction. Then we had to join hands, and indeed we did it, to bring the people together, cohesion, as it were. And I'm happy that indeed we did. Today the country is in the collective correction, and we are happy that it's going doing the right thing.
And that was thanks to your efforts when you are supposed to appear before the committee.
Precisely, Chairman. Yes, that was true. If I was again, I was not there to present my party leader in that function, as it were.
This mask is not doing us a favor, because I can't tell whether you are grinning or whether you are making a face at us.
Honorable Chair,
I might say that you take off that mask.
Honorable Chair, this is why I was asking the question of what the function was, and I wish that members would have allowed the governor to answer that question. Because from the function itself, we all live in this country, we would be able to establish if what the governor is telling us is actually factual. If it was a presidential function, it cannot have been a party function. That's the point. And I was getting interrupted by the Vice Chair, yet it is critical information for you to ascertain whether indeed the excuse for the absence is proper or not. Because for me, as a Secretary General of ODM, I would never allow the party to be used as an excuse to escape parliamentary summons. We have actually had conversations on the floor of the House, Honorable Chair, where we have censured cabinet secretaries for going to State House or using the excuse that they had been summoned to State House and not prioritizing parliamentary business as required by the Constitution. So it was important for you to let the governor put on record what that function was, because from there we would be able to discern if indeed it was a worthy excuse.
Chair, maybe just for purposes, you know, Simba Arati has served in Parliament. And in Parliament, we have a tradition that there are only two excuses, or three. One is when you are attending a cabinet meeting, parliamentary appearances, or you are on compassionate, or you are sick, or so, and evidence must be provided. And I agree, but as Governor, the issue, was this a presidential function? Was it a state function? Maybe if you can put on record, it will, you know, I didn't want to allow Chair, the deputy party leader and SG to do exchanges on behalf of the party. I wanted this issue to be between the issue of committee. Maybe you can highlight, was it a party function or was it a state function? Then I can agree, because it looks like we are reading from the same page with your SG, but I did the interpretation a bit different.
Let me draw the party function, because it was a presidential function by the invite of the president. Therefore, I attend that function. Of course, we present. I'm not a Kenya Kwanza member, therefore I had to be there as an ODM member. That's why I was advancing the agenda. But I want to say it was not an ODM affair, as it were.
Now, the requirement for us, honorable members, is to determine whether the reasons provided for non-appearance at the last meeting, which triggered the summons, are satisfactory. Because the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act empowers us and says that where a person summoned does not appear or appears and fails to satisfy the committee, then the committee may impose upon that person a fine not exceeding 500,000 Kenya shillings. Part of the requirements of the summons was for the governor to respond to the report of the Auditor General. So I would propose that there is that story the governor has told us as the reason as to why he didn't appear. But let's proceed to the other leg of the summons and get the governor's response to the report of the Auditor General. And at the end of these proceedings, we will take a view on whether the governor has responded satisfactorily to our summons. That can allow us to proceed to the next agenda, which will be consideration of the report of the Auditor General on Kisii County Executive for the 2 financial years, 2021-2022, 2022-2023. That includes the receipt of revenue statement and the County Revenue Fund statement. Auditor General, you have already given us a brief on the substantive issues in those reports. There are a few things that you have marked as resolved and some that are outstanding. We will start with the most recent report of the Auditor General, and then we will go downwards to the later reports. But even as we go into this, you might want to let us know, have you concluded your audit for the current financial year?
Currently, the audit is progressing for 2023-2024. It's in progress.
When do you intend to exit?
Most likely the mid of December, that's when we're going to do the conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at the draft stages.
So if there are issues that require further scrutiny or special audit, we might want to ask you to consider them in your ongoing audit or to treat them as prior year matters so that the report that will be coming for 2023-2024 should capture the areas that require further clarification. Okay, so we may proceed.
Chair, before we proceed, Chair, I wanted to bring an objection on the, ongoing on the debate of the report. Yes, we know we got the invitation and we have done our bit, but there is constitutional requirement, and the court have declared themselves on the constitutionality of the report that we're going to discuss. And there is a ruling, Chairman. And this ruling abides because we are dealing with issues of the Constitution, as it were, both at the County Assembly and national and the Senate, as it were. Therefore, Chair, there is a ruling by the court that we may not even consider what we are discussing now, as it were. And these are ruling that was given by Judge Nyaga Jairus on 1st October 2024. And the Chairman, the ruling here is a declaration was made or issued that the constitutional timelines spent out in Article 2294 and 9 of the Constitution and Section 48 and 50 of Public Audit Act 2015 are mandatory and must be complied with. This is a ruling, Chair.
Could you give us a citation?
In fact, Governor, do you have copies of that decision for the committee?
Yes.
Because we would like to read with you as well.
Yeah, because Jairus Nga has made a lot of landmark rulings. He was part of the BBI bench,
Yes.
so we need to be specific. What is the citation
Yes.
And so that we are sure that we are talking about the same things.
I can provide it, Chair. You can, I give this one. Chair, and I've marked out, this one can, as copies are coming, but this one you can be given, Mr. Chairman. And I want...
can you relate it to what we are doing? And because I want to understand what you are objecting to.
Chairman, allow me to give my, the legal advisor, legal direct, the AG, SC to work on it, so that we can be able to understand exactly what are we doing, what are we not supposed to do as a people.
We shall, just as we usually do in even in other matters, including impeachment, etc., we shall limit that discussion on preliminaries to 10 minutes. So you have 5 minutes to state what your problem is, and within the next 5 minutes we shall make a determination.
Maybe, Chair, as the governor allows the county attorney to, should we take the county attorney under oath so that, or is the county attorney speaking through the governor, say that if there any adverse ruling to that, maybe you can guide so that the county attorney speaks as the county attorney or through the governor, so that when we are getting and writing submissions, we are writing through the governor or as the county attorney, because in any cases the county officials have taken oath, especially when they are giving evidence, which has serious magnitude as we are about to do, because the decision will come out of this ruling by the Justice Nga will have serious ramification, even in the report writing and the operations of the committee and the entire parliament. I thank you, Chair.
Governor?
Chair, I've taken the oath. You will do it through me. Oh. Yeah.
Can you proceed?
Thank you, Chair, through my governor. The objection being raised is breach of Article 229, Sub-Article 4 and 8. The two sub-articles of the Constitution relate to timelines given to the Auditor General within which to audit and submit accounts of county governments. Let me read the section. Is in one line. It's in mandatory terms, and it reads that within 6 months after the end of each financial year, the Auditor General shall audit and report in respect of that financial year on the accounts of national and county governments. That is sub-article 4 of 229, read together with Article 229, sub-article 8. I can read it. It's in another one line, which says, within 3 months of receiving an audit report referred to under subsection 1, Parliament or the relevant county assembly shall debate and consider the report and take appropriate action. So the net effect of the two sub-articles is that the Auditor General ought to have completed and submitted the audit report of the county government of Kisii by December, and that within 3 months of submitting that report, the Senate here ought to have deliberated and determined these proceedings.
So who do you have a problem with?
The evidence I have that I can rely on.
Which constitutional entity do you have a problem with? Which constitutional entity is in breach of the Constitution, in this case, in your submission?
I want to believe both or either, and under the constitutional provisions, it doesn't matter whether it's both or either, if at least one is in breach.
What has the Senate breached as far as the Constitution is concerned?
229 8 requires that within 3 months.
Can you read it verbatim?
Council, as you prepare to read, you will also address us on retroactive applicability of that decision. You will point us to the paragraph where the judge says that all previous audits are now declared illegalities.
I think let's first stick to, because here you are at the Senate, I am not going to answer for the Office of Auditor General. I'm going to take responsibility for the omissions or commissions of the Senate. So read 2298.
It says, within 3 months of receiving an audit report referred to under subsection 1, Parliament or the relevant county assembly shall debate and consider the report and take appropriate action.
Where has Parliament breached that provision?
The invitation we received, the first invitation to deal with
Who
this
tells you that that invitation was a first instance where Parliament was dealing with this report? Have you looked at the covering schedule? When was this report tabled in Parliament?
Well, you said...
When was the report tabled in Parliament?
I don't have the evidence.
If you don't have that, then you are engaging in speculation, my friend.
That would deal with 2294 concerning the timelines within which the...
No, Wakili. If a matter is expressed in terms of a time period, if you do not know the start date, can you really talk to us about breach of the Constitution? You have said yourself you don't know when the reports... Just a minute.
I have one...
Do you know when the reports were tabled in Parliament? Yes or no? It's a simple question.
I don't, and that is
then
why
therefore you cannot know whether it is out of time if you don't know the date in which it was tabled.
That is insofar as you're dealing with the...
Correct, and that is the question the chair is asking you.
Let me clarify this, because this is a no-brainer. I see where you guys are going to, but we are not going to allow you to go there. This report for the year ended 30th June 2023 was laid on the table of the Senate by the Deputy Majority Whip on 21st of March 2024. Was that within the 3 months required of Parliament, according to Article 2298? Yes. What does tabling mean? It means the matter was brought before Parliament. What does the Constitution require us to do? It requires us, within 3 months after receiving an audit report, Parliament or the County Assembly shall debate, consider the report, and take appropriate action. When this report was laid on the table on the 21st of March 2024, the appropriate action that Parliament took was to refer it to the Public Accounts Committee. The Public Accounts Committee was then mandated to look at the issues, to investigate the issues, and to bring back a report. What has this Senate done that is outside the Constitution if the tabling and decision was made on 21st of March?
Now, the compliance within 3 months.
Was 21st of March within 3 months?
I'm referring to the proceedings before you.
This is the appropriate action that is subsequent to the decision of 21st of March. You should have done your homework, my friend.
Chair, also
and Governor, you need to look at the quality of legal advice you are getting.
Yeah, we have 2 reports here. There is 20.
I am dealing with this report. What is out of order in the report for the year ended 30th June 2023, as far as the role of Parliament is concerned? What is out of order? I have shown you, Deputy Majority Whip tabled this report on 21st of March 2024, and thereafter, Parliament made the decision that the appropriate action is for the report to be considered by the Public Accounts Committee.
Chair,
have you looked at the Hansard?
I gave this advice based on the 2 reports that were here.
No, let's deal with one report at a time. Do you have a problem us taking appropriate action on the report for the year ended 30th June 2023?
I will need to be furnished with evidence when...
Whose responsibility is it to
I have been kind enough to supply that evidence to you, because today you are not running away. tuko na wewe hapa. The evidence is now before you. Can you see the page that the chair is referring to?
Chairman, as the CA is looking at that document, rightly the way you put it, you received the document on 21st March. Within the 3 months, which were coming to an end, that is in July, the invite that you gave us, you should have actually made it possible within the 3 months to have considered these reports.
Governor, you go back and read Article 2298.
Yes.
We have looked at this ruling that you have put before us. We have looked at it from page 1 to the last page. What is required of Parliament is to debate, consider, and take appropriate action. What we are doing right now is a part of taking appropriate action. When a report is tabled, the Speaker or the leadership of the House makes certain decisions for action to be taken by a committee that is outside the 3 months that we're talking about here.
Chair and Governor, in light of what you told us earlier about your inability to attend this committee, is that really a fair accusation for you to make? Knowing very well that you yourself have been unable to appear here, and you have given us reasons. One time you were outside, the other time you were at a presidential function. We were here. Is it fair for you to say that we should have done things that you know you contributed to our inability to do?
Chair, that will not be fair. I agree. But the question is, Chair, apart from where at the Senate as it is, that it did not receive this report on time as required by the Constitution, could we cure? That's the question, Chair, again. I want to...
Okay, let me ask you, Governor. When did you submit your financial statements to the Auditor General?
It must have been submitted on time, Chair.
No, it's not a speculation, because you guys are prepared with the facts. Yeah. What is the date on which you presented your financial statements to the Auditor General?
Can I have my copy back, Wakili, if you are done?
Chair, I'm told 30th September.
Where are you reading that? Can you prove it? Can you prove it?
I can ask my people, because the people submit under the Auditor General.
The financial statement that was tabled in Parliament indicates that they were prepared by your team on 10th of January 2024. 10th of January. Now, Wakili, since you are a smart Wakili, what is your constitutional responsibility as an entity that receives public funds? Before you accuse the Auditor General of sleeping on the job, this was submitted on 10th of January 2024. What is the constitutional responsibility of the entity before you shift the blame?
Well, I'm not shifting blame.
What is the constitutional responsibility of the entity?
You're supposed to account.
And you're supposed to prepare your financial statements within what duration?
Before close of the financial year.
Well, it's not before close of financial year. Be fair to the accountants in the House.
You can tell us because they're here.
What is your responsibility, statutory and constitutional? Because the Auditor General cannot provide a report before you have presented your financial statements.
The financial statements are supposed to be submitted by 30th of September.
30th of September.
Yeah.
These were submitted on 10th of January. And Governor, your team advises you that we reject this process, these reports, on account of failures by the Auditor General and Senate when you provided your financial statements in January, 3 months later.
Through the chair, those are reversed.
It does not matter to us. This is what we have visibility on.
But Mr. Chairman,
10th of January 2024. The Auditor General has struggled to bring financial statements to Parliament in less than a month. In less than a month, when the Auditor General is required to do that exercise in 3 months. Are we being fair to constitutional entities?
You know, Governor, they say that those who come to equity must come with clean hands. You are trying to hide behind a decision that had totally different circumstances from your circumstances in Kisii. And your wakili there is doing you a great disservice, because maybe I failed to disclose, Honorable Chair, that the governor of Kisii is my friend. I know him very well. He's a good man. He doesn't try to be clever when he knows that there's a problem, and he readily admits when there's a problem. Governor, you're being misadvised. You're being misadvised, because if the claim is that the auditors must have signed by 31st December of 2023, and you yourselves are submitting your financials in January, that umbrella is not available for you to cover yourself with. Let it just rain on you. I think these are the clouds that the chair was referring to when we began this process. Now I can see why I was required to pray.
Chairman.
But just a minute, Vice Chair.
Maybe two just basic questions, Governor. In your own opinion, are you ready to proceed with today's meeting, number one? Number two, through your wakili, there is a principle of separation of powers, and there is a decision that was made by Speaker Emeritus, the current public service, what is his name, J. Muturi. He was your speaker. In fact, I think you were in that session, in the David Ochieng, Kenya Member of Parliament, when I think the NASA wanted to whip him. And Justin Muturi and somebody rushed to court. And the speaker, where you served as Member of Parliament of Dakureti North, stated that there is no arm of government can direct another arm, including whether judiciary or parliament or executive, national executive. So with your wakili there in these principles of separation of powers, where we have judicial overreach, do you think judiciary should be holding the hand of parliament in making that decision and running in their affairs? Because they will be rewriting how principle of powers operates. So I would want to do, and finally, Governor, looking at this report that was tabled on 2nd March 2024. So apart from this Justice Ngad decision, and despite the fact that on several occasions, out of course, convincing reason you have avoided, in the principles of equity, who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Do you think it is unfair to accuse, let me use the word accuse cautiously, the committee did not consider in time, considering that you could not make it because of course, valid reasons that you have tabled? Do you think it will be fair? Those are my three questions.
Governor?
Chair, three things. Number one, I want to confirm that the county government of Kisii submitted the reports to the Auditor General on 30th September, as by the law. What you have there, is
evidence to that effect, because you who alleges must prove.
Chair, there is evidence, and I can supply. I can supply that yes, we did submit on time, as it was required.
Okay, I'll allow you to prosecute. Oh, Senator, you wanted?
Yes, Chair.
Oh, okay, just a minute, Governor. Senator?
I just wanted to say that if that information that the governor is raising is not tabled and is not within it, then we will not accept that argument.
Yeah, because the difficulty we have is that the financial statement that was certified
has already been tabled,
and that we are considering indicates that the county executive's financial statements were approved and signed by the CEC member for finance on 10th of January 2024.
Governor, again, I want to invoke our friendship, and just to remind you that once you go under oath, once you leave that Bible, there are consequences of making statements that are manifestly untrue. Because the documents that are before us are here. Is the CEC for Finance and Economic Planning who signed this document here?
Yes.
Where is he?
Chairman, I'm around.
As Governor, you need to ask your CEC if he understands the import of appending your signature to a document, especially given what the document says. In law, your attorney there will tell you that once you have a document, you don't introduce oral evidence to explain its contents, because we can all read. This is not in Gusi. This is in English. It says the county executive's financial statements were approved and signed by the CEC member for finance on the 10th of January 2024. Is this your signature?
Yes, Chairman. That's
so is this document wrong? Because what the governor is saying is different from what the document is saying. Should we believe the document or the governor's oral presentation?
Chairman, that's my signature and that's the document I believe is very.
Is what this document saying correct?
I believe so, Chair.
My friend, is what this document saying correct?
Yes, Chair.
Governor, you may want to retract because the subject matter specialist has a different version from what you are giving the committee.
Chairman, given that he just signed, the people submitted the documents, they're here. And I want to confirm because they have been, and I'm happy that you're bringing up that document. Mr. Nyandanyi, when did you submit the documents?
With evidence.
And who is Mr. Nyandanyi?
The head of accounts. Through my governor. We usually submit by 30th of September.
Usually.
But we don't have the evidence here with us because we didn't know.
Then what you're saying is not useful. Governor, proceed.
Chairman, number two.
You said there were three things. I'm still allowing you to, but remember our 10 minutes is spent.
Number two, Chairman. Number two, the fact that we brought in the documents and we submitted the committee. Chair, we were ready to continue with the report, as it were. But Chairman, again, the fact that there was that ruling is what we were taking precaution of, so that we don't offend the Constitution, as it were, and it has been cleared by the courts. Tomorrow we don't find ourselves as a county, at the Senate. Always I'm ready, Mr. Chairman, as I've said. Only precautionary, we were taking caution.
Governor, are you ready? Are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready, Chairman.
Are you still maintaining your preliminary objection?
I am, because, Chairman, I believe if the Constitution is being abused.
You can't have it both ways. You are either holding on to objection or you are saying you have abandoned it and we can proceed. Vice Chair.
My brother, Governor Arati, and I used to normally play for you when we were taking lunch that you become the governor of Kisii. And I hope you remember those prayers. They are powerful, that's why you are governor. Mr. Arati, Your Excellency, you are with us in Parliament. There are decisions that the courts would make. But we used to tell courts, I can even give you an answer, where you are telling off courts that they cannot interfere with the work of Parliament. So you are before Parliament, which you protected for 10 years as a member of Parliament. Now you are telling us, we can't proceed because some judge somewhere has decided to issue some orders. Yet I thought the important part through the chair is accounting for the taxpayers' money, regardless of any other decision, because I thought you wanted the people of Kisii to know today how the money we dispense to can be accounted for. So, Governor, you should choose the way. Either we proceed or you sustain your objection, then the committee can make a decision, and we also save your time and save our time, because we know you need to be in Kisii also discharging your duties as the governor. So, Chair,
and as senators, we need to be in the chamber to approve money that is going to counties.
Cash disbursement today in the afternoon.
Which we have done faithfully. When it comes to disbursing money to counties, these senators have done it faithfully.
Yes.
When it comes to oversighting errant officials, including your deputy governor. This Senate has done it faithfully. When it comes to accounting for expenditure, the governor carries a smart lawyer without all the facts to try to sabotage this important exercise. Governor, those are our three very important roles. Yes. Allocate money to counties, we have done it faithfully. To oversight, we have done it faithfully, including an impeachment in Kisii. Why is oversight of finances becoming a problem?
And even we have defeated a presidential memorandum. Yesterday we got 2/3. 380 billion.
We raised 2/3 of the vote of
and
Senate.
We raised 7 billion. We defeated a presidential memorandum.
Why is it that when it comes to accounting, you come with a battalion of lawyers?
Chairman, let me say I didn't come with battalions of lawyers. I have only one lawyer here with me.
I think you came with your legal advisor as backup, as a substitute. Just a minute, Governor. Senator Mariam and then Senator Gatai.
Chair, when Governor is explaining about the financial, he said an accountant just signed. So maybe they are not owning the report. Are you satisfied with the content of the report? If you are saying just sign the report on this, you have to maybe paraphrase that. This objection of yours, it is only one thing. Is either you have to withdraw so that we can continue, or you make it firm there so that we can make decision.
Thank you, Chair. This is Senator Mwenda Gataya, Mofa, Draganidi County, a member of this committee.
Thank you. Senator Sifuna, remember we stopped the governor. He was trying to explain something.
I understand, and because you know, Governor, it doesn't look good when we look for legal loopholes to try and stop a conversation about utilization of the resources of the people of Kisii. As I said, I know you. I don't think there is anything you have to hide, but that is how it is appearing. And it is not a good look on you because I know you are a straightforward person. Your lawyer there should also advise you that if you are going to object to our proceedings, maybe you shouldn't file responses. Because immediately you have filed responses like this. This is now the custody of the Senate. You can't come then tell us that you don't want to proceed because of something that happened subsequently. So what I would advise you, Governor, is let us not take this stance because it cannot have been the decision of the court. And I've read that decision, and I asked your lawyer to show me where the court has said that all audit reports that are now before Parliament should not be looked at by Parliament. You cannot injunct processes of Parliament, and it cannot have been the intention of the court to allow governors and county governments to escape scrutiny by representatives of the people. And I want to let you know that now that you have brought this decision to our attention, we as members of Parliament will apply for review of that position. It is not tenable because it doesn't make any sense. Right now, the auditors are having to scramble. They're trying to comply. Yesterday, I was at an what is it called? Entry meeting. Because the governor knows I'm also an accounting officer. My exit meeting is on the 9th. By 31st, the reports for that big party that you're speaking about will be done. Honorable Governor, we are not in the business of running away from accountability. And all that happens in this committee is a conversation about how money has been utilized. So you should encourage a position that allows these facts to be brought out and also to use this forum to also explain to the country and the people of Kisii what your government is doing, because you will not get a better opportunity than this.
Chair, allow me to say this. We are ready to move. The only thing, Chair, as I said earlier, it's good that I also bring it in, know that there is this ruling. But for me, Chair, I'm prepared. And that's why I supplied all the documentation that which are required. And therefore, Chair, I stepped down the objection. We move on with I'm ready. Again, Senate is part of the business we are continually learning from the best also practices that we have learned around. Therefore, I'll be the happiest person to really know where we are doing wrong or what we are doing right. The Chair, so that we're not accused tomorrow that we convened with the Senate in defeating the ruling. But I've stepped down that one. We can proceed.
Actually, it is not you stepping it down. It is the chair overruling the objection for the following reasons. The Senate has demonstrated that the report of the Auditor General on the County Executive of Kisii for the year ended 30th June 2023, which was tabled on 21st of March 2024 and referred to the Public Accounts Committee for appropriate action, the Senate operated within the constitutional timelines. The Senate has further confirmed and demonstrated that if there was a delay by the Office of the Auditor General in submitting reports to Parliament, it was occasioned by the delay of the Kisii County Executive to provide financial statements, which were approved and signed by the CEC on 10th of January 2024, 3 months outside the constitutional and statutory timelines. With regards to the other report, the County Revenue Fund report for the year ended 30th June 2023, this report, the Senate was seized of it on 20th of March 2024, upon which the Senate referred the report to the Public Accounts Committee for appropriate action on that date. If there was a delay by the Auditor General in submitting the report to Parliament, again, it was occasioned by the County Executive of Kisii, because the County Revenue Fund's financial statements were approved and signed on 19th of December 2023, whereas they ought to have been provided by 30th of September 2023. If anyone is going to take responsibility for that delay, it is the County Executive of Kisii. In the final report for the financial year 2023, this report, Parliament was seized of it on 21st of March 2024 within the constitutional timelines. We did our own internal processes of debate and consideration, and it was referred to this committee for appropriate action, which is what we are doing. If there was a delay by the Auditor General in providing the financial statement report to Parliament, it was again occasioned by the illegal actions, because these are violations of the law. We can point you to the law that makes it an offense not to comply with the provisions of the Public Audit and PFM Act. The County Revenue Fund, the revenue statements were approved and signed by the receiver of revenue on 30th November 2023, 2 months outside the statutory timelines. So, Governor, we must make a ruling on this. I do not want us to avoid taking the decision. Parliament has acted properly within its timelines. The County Executive of Kisii has acted outside the constitutional and statutory timelines, and therefore, if there was to be a crisis, it would be a self-inflicted crisis by the County Executive of Kisii. Now, it's important that we have this conversation, and I think it's important that you brought it up.
Chairman.
So that it can, just a minute, so that it can provide guidance to the other governors who might assume that they can use a legal loophole to run away from accountability. The Senate, I think we have applied our minds to this. Of course, we are seeking a review on certain issues, transitional issues, clarification on practical application. But we cannot seek a review of the Constitution. We are not, there's no contention about what the Constitution says. But for us to fulfill the constitutional requirements, all of us must play our part. There is no way the Auditor General can give a report if the entity provides a report in the following year. And there is no way this committee can take appropriate action without calling the entities, because Article 47 gives you the right to fair administrative action. So it's not, unless you just want us to adopt and say that insurance money was stolen, HR money was stolen. That's why we afford you this opportunity. I've made that long submission so that it can act as a guide kwa wale ambao wako na nia kama zako.
Chair, first of all, I withdrew. Therefore, after withdrawing, Chair, you will not give, you can't give the ruling on it, because I stepped down that objection that I...
No, the matter needed to be determined.
I know, Chair, you're guiding that any other governor coming for must put their acts together. But again, I agree with you. We must be all of us faithful to what the Constitution requires of us. Therefore, as I just indicated earlier, Chair, I withdrew. Therefore, that suffices, the ruling you were to make.
Honourable members, unless there is an observation, I wanted to take this view. Governor, the House is going on recess today, and there are certain instruments which, if you don't pass, counties are going to be starved of cash. Yesterday, we passed the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, CARA, and we had to raise 2/3 to defeat a memorandum by the President, which wanted to distribute 380 billion. These senators here, we came together and we ensured that whatever was distributed was 387 billion. Today, we are supposed to process other statutes, the cash disbursement schedule, and a few other bills that would be supporting devolution. We don't have much time to consider the report before us, but at least we have agreed in principle that notwithstanding Jairus Nga's decision, this exercise must be undertaken because it's part of that appropriate action. And I wanted to make a proposal, honourable members, that if the governor stepped down, but I've also given guidelines on how Senate proceeds in light of that kind of concern, that we may need to defer or to adjourn early to allow us to make those other decisions that are good for devolution, and then propose another date where we'll not be taking too much time on preliminaries, where the governor will come and will go straight to action. And maybe by that time, the Auditor General will have provided the most recent report. So it will give us a fresher perspective on the affairs of Kisii. Honourable members, could I hear your comments on that? Senator Onyonka?
Thank you, Chair. I think I have no objection to us making a ruling, because the matters in this report are quite weighty and they need some time. So I would like to say I appreciate that you've accepted and realized that. Okay. Thank you.
Chairman, I abide fully with your wisdom that has come forth. So I think we should proceed in that fashion.
Okay. Chair, that's the best observation that we can make as a committee, and we totally agree, because we have spent quite a number of time on the preliminaries. And now that the governor has stepped down, I hope next time when he appears, then we shall have a...
He would step up again. Senator Mariam?
Chair, I agree. And the issue of audit queries are almost 20-something, 25, 26 queries. So with this time, it will not be convenient for us to work on this. So I agree with you, Chair.
Let me ask Senator Dulo and Senator Mtata to go on record. They were with us earlier, but they went into another meeting. Just go on record for answered purposes.
Fatuma Dulo, Isiolo.
Senator Mtata.
Okay, Mtata Koiti, Your Excellency, welcome and your delegation. I had gone for another meeting.
Don't forget to see the incoming president.
Oh, the incoming president, yes. I had gone for another meeting on compensation of police officers.
You are welcome. And the long and short of it, Senator Mtata, is that the Jairus Nga ruling on constitutional timelines with respect to Article 2294 and 2298 have come up, and we have deliberated. The governor raised a preliminary objection, and he decided to stand it down just when we were about to give a ruling. But the principle we have taken is that Parliament is operating within the timelines, because these reports were tabled in Parliament within the 3 months, and Parliament took the decision to refer it to the relevant committees for appropriate action, and that's in line with the Constitution. And we have also asked the question, where constitutional timelines are breached by an entity, for example, Kisii, submitting their financial statements in January of the subsequent year, would it be fair for then KISI to come here and say that the Auditor General breached the Constitution by not auditing reports that were not existent? So I know that Senator Omtata would be President of the Republic of Kenya, might want to look at some of these issues for greater clarity in the other institutions that interpret the laws.
I think in terms of the decision of Justice Nga, there was a decision by the Supreme Court on in one of my cases where the court says that in situations like that, the court should go further and issue what they call a structural interdict and say, okay, you have not done this, but we are giving you maybe 6 months to do what was supposed to be done of you, so it doesn't fall through the cracks. So we might need the Nga decision to go back to the judge for a structural edict to tell us within what period of time we should have cleared up the backlog and stuff like that.
Thank you for that guidance. We have taken the position that we are pursuing a review because the window for appeal has closed. So we'll be, I think the legal team is preparing their brief and their strategy to seek a review. We do not want to expand the timelines. We want the timelines to remain the way they are. And Governor, it will be to your benefit if we are sharing revenue on the basis of the most recent financial statements. You know, right now we are sharing on the basis of 2021. So counties, 15% of the most recent revenue statements might be higher than the 387 billion that we are giving you. So we'll just be going back for that structure. You call it structured?
Structural interdict.
Structural interdict to help us deal with the past years. So, Governor, I have made the proposal that we would adjourn because the time remaining does not allow us to get into substantive issues, and yet we have a lot of matters that affect you directly as a county on the order paper. Do you have any objection to that?
No, Chair, I want to thank you, especially the Senate as it is, for the good work you guys you are doing to the counties. You have been faithful to the course. We expect that not less than what you guys have agreed. Congratulations for what you did yesterday. I know you were there up to late. We want to, again, to ask you guys to make sure you push, because again, now you have become more of our police officers who are taking, the beating on behalf of the counties as well from the government. We want to, again, I want to say this as a chairman again at the COG, as the chairman of resource mobilization. Those resources you guys are looking at, how we wish that the counties would get them on time. The only thing I want to say is that Umtata, you know, you're a fighter in those courts, and that's why you could be better than other lawyers. But again, we respect. Please proceed. Yes, for sure.
Please proceed carefully.
To school of law, but he does it very well, Mr. Chairman. We must, where credit is due, let us give it. But Chair, I want to thank you again. We are ready to appear before you and another committee of Parliament. I've been in Parliament. We have grilled people. We have summoned people. Therefore, when I'm being summoned, I'm happy to appear before this committee. There is nothing about it. I'm ready to be here and answer all questions and account for every penny which comes to KISI. Thank you.
And as I allow Senator Onyonka to close, how many members of National Assembly do you have in KISI County?
Constituents, we have 9, Chairman.
And there are others who are nominated from KISI?
Yes.
I want to send you to your members of National Assembly. Go and have a conversation with them. Because right now, they are rejecting the push by Senate to bring road maintenance levy fund of 10 billion to county governments. It is an issue not just of principle, but compliance with the Constitution. Because roads, you have national roads and county roads. All Kenyans pay towards the road maintenance levy fund. And the national government should have its share. County government should also have their share. The members of National Assembly are ganging up to say that if they cannot get the 10.5 billion out of RMLF, which should be channeled to KERA, of course the Senate says the money should go directly to counties. They are saying it should go to KERA, which they control. They are saying if they can't get the 10.5 billion, counties are not going to get the conditional grants. Out of the conditional grants includes 40 billion of loans and grants. FLOCA money is there. NAV CDP money is there. Some counties are getting resources for water improvement. There are urban improvement loans and grants there. So please go talk to your members of National Assembly and remind them that their constituencies exist in the county. Whatever comes to the county does not go to another universe. It is going to benefit their constituents. It's extremely untidy that the Senate would be fighting for counties and the members of National Assembly, who some of whom aspire to be governors, would be fighting for money to go to other national government entities. I think that's a message I want to leave you with.
Chair, because just on your last comment, until one is a governor, I was a member of parliament, we were selfish at that time. We will oppose anything going to the counties. In brief view that there is a lot of theft in the counties. But indeed, as you're putting, when you get yourself there, that's the time you realize the reality comes to you. What are you opposing? Basically, as you put it, roads are either national or counties. And Mtata here, that's where you can be able to help us in either getting the interpretation of the law.
No, but you came with two lawyers here, including a legal advisor. Why do you need Mtata's help?
Mtata, does it pro bono.
There was litigation.
The government.
There was litigation on that issue, which somebody initiated, and it's the Council of Governors which compromised it.
Yes.
Somebody is going to litigate that matter. And it's the Council of Governors which compromised it for a low-hanging fruit. Instead of going for the whole tree, they took a fruit.
And that's on record.
And abandoned the tree.
We will look at it.
Governor, again, you're accusing other people, and yet you guys agreed on some settlements so that you can look good in the eyes of the government.
For sure, Chair, even when we are seated here, by the time you'll get us in as a governor, Homa Bay soon, all the Nyonka in the future, if he becomes the governor of Kisii, all Tharaka-Nithi as a governor, that's the reality will down on you on how the counties are and how difficult you'll be able to deal with the issues as they are. But I'm happy that you have been true to the spirit of devolution as a Senate. Thank you.
Senator Onyonka, you could give us a...
Chair, I wouldn't want to extend this. I just wanted to say that, Governor, our job in this team is to interrogate money that we bring to you so that then the people who gave me a job and also gave you the job can be satisfied that we are guardians of that money. I want to say, Chair, thank you all for coming in, and I believe when we start the interrogation of these books, all shall be well. Thank you very much. And those of you who have come from Kisii, please travel well. And in case the governor doesn't buy you lunch, I could offer a cup of tea. Thank you.
I doubt he'll buy them lunch because he does not even want to spend on legal expenses. He wants Mtata to take on his cases. I think we'll bring it to a close. Auditor General, I hope the client is cooperating, showing up for meetings, providing documentation as required to avoid these situations where financials come the following year.
Thank you, Chair. There is a cooperation from the client in terms of going forward, provision of the information and also documentations that has made us to progress. Even for this meeting, there's some sufficient information that has been provided for us to have this meeting, which has now been scheduled.
Okay, so we shall set a proper date for a proper conversation on these reports. And EACC, we had asked you, just go on record because you had not introduced yourself.
Thank you, Chair. Patricia Chebet from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, liaison officer attached to this committee.
I hope when we meet again, you will give us a proper update on the issues that have been referred to EACC. I think there are some HR issues and some insurance matters. So we'll give you time to prepare that before our next substantive engagement with the County Executive of Kisii.
Well noted, Chair.
There being no other business, the meeting is adjourned. We wish you a safe journey back home.